2 years now of transport misery due to lockdowns. Now it's the rail strikes, a 1.5 billion hit to hospitality alone, carnage at Christmas. I mean, what are people saying to you about their sheer frustration about another year of a virtual lockdown?
Well, certainly speaking to hospitality businesses last week, they were saying that typically this week would be the busiest week of the year for them. Not so this week. The companies I spoke to were saying that they were getting calls left, right and centre from people with office parties, big bookings, tables for 40, parties for 60, people asking to cancel them. No deposit, no way of being able to argue with that. As you said, the hospitality sector expecting to lose £1.5 billion this week, which is similar to the losses of last year, when you remember that Chris Whitty said that people should really consider what they did in the run-up to Christmas in order to see their families.
Yesterday, the government held a COBRA emergency meeting to talk about the situation with strikes, and Oliver Dowden coming out of that meeting saying that ministers would be straining every sinew to try and solve this winter of discontent. I mean, what's your view on all of that? Where do you see this going? Is there going to be a resolution, or do you think we just need to accept now that this is the state of things in Britain?
I think in terms of the railways, as I said, that result yesterday may start to see some sort of movement. Network Rail probably learning or realising that they're not going to need to make huge changes before even more members of the RMT at Network Rail look to accept an offer. In terms of where we are today, though, Andrew Haynes, the boss of Network Rail this morning, saying that he saw very little glimmer of any hope in terms of negotiations. The country now staring down the barrel of a month of action. When these two sets of 48-hour strikes end, an overtime ban starts, which runs right through until the 2nd of January, at which point there's 2 more blocks of 48-hour strikes forecast in the calendar. At the moment, I think, as things stand, we look like that action is going to go ahead. I think in the new year, the picture might be slightly different in terms of where that wiggle room, as I say, is in an offer.